Welcome to the fourth and final episode of The Opinion Piece. Faith is back in the studio. We've looked at the introduction, how she got into it, the industry, as well as apprenticeships, the brand image of the industry, mental health. This episode, the future of construction, because we need more people like her. Simple as that. Faith, welcome back. This is right. Put your goggles on. You're looking into the future. What excites you about the future of construction? Is there anything you're thinking, I want to do more of that, or we need to advance that?
I think just overall innovation, because we are behind in terms of, the level of innovation compared to other companies, other industries, sorry.
Big time. Yeah, way behind.
So, for example, when I talk about AI, everyone's talking about it. How can we incorporate it into what we're doing? How can we, for job sustainability as well, and climate change, how can we put all that into construction? It's, the government have their own 2030 plan, 2050 plan, but, companies need to be able to implement their own thing that boost the construction industry as a whole, to allow us to follow on with the, I don't want to say trend, but the level of innovation that's happening in other industries.
And other countries. Construction, you look at, we partnered with an Australian company who are over at London Build, and we did a lot of talking with them. He rightly said, you're about 3 years behind it with your innovation. And it's true.
Yeah.
You look at the States, I'd say they're even further ahead. My view is we're British and we kind of like things in place. We don't like change.
Yeah.
But to me, AI is going to be the big one.
Yeah.
Is it something you've been spoken to about? Is it something you've looked at? Or is it one of these things you're like, I'll leave that for the moment because it just looks mind-blowing?
It's a bit of everything you just said. In terms of, I look at it and I think it could help us, but I don't know how. And there's some people out there that know how and have developed the technology too. But then it's up to the different companies to then adapt, take on that technology and incorporate it into what they do. For example, at the London Build, I met a company, CMS, I believe they're called. They have action tracker for project managers. They also have a procurement website. They have a lot of technology that can help, that can help the industry, and they're incorporating AI into it as well to make it easier to do some things. With the AI is programmed to, it's programmed to think like more like a human. So when they incorporate that, will make our lives in construction a bit easier. We can be more efficient with our time. But if companies don't then take that technology and use it, we're not going anywhere.
Again, key word, incorporate.
Yeah.
People see AI as a threat. It will never replace us ultimately. No. I don't believe.
It can't.
It can do things we do, but it can't give it that personal or your experience, your views. AI won't know that, but it can help us do our day-to-day work more. I mean, I a lot of the stuff with media and social media is quite frightening. I've seen some mad videos where AI have produced them. It's not the same as what you get in real life. I think they can help.
Yeah.
I think a lot of AI is quite frightening, as you say, but I think we need to incorporate it and work with it, not feel threatened by it, because it isn't ultimately going to replace us, I don't think. Anything else that you sort of see ahead? You mentioned sustainability, climate change, obviously carbon emissions, all these things. Is this something that you are taught about, or is it something you just hear about when you're out on site looking at projects?
I'm taught about it because of university. When I started my uni lectures, that's when I really started thinking about it. The built environment contribute 40% to, and the greenhouse gases of climate change. So it's where I don't want to say it's mainly our fault, but we're mainly one of the, where the main.
Yeah, big lump out as an industry.
Yeah, so as an industry, we then have to work together to reduce those numbers, because the effect of it is frightening. They said the global temperatures increased by 1.1%. Apparently, that's a big deal. So I think, because 1.1% to me, it doesn't sound a lot. It doesn't like, what's 1.1? What's 1.1 degrees that it's gone up by? But in terms of the global economy, it's a lot, and it's gonna affect people globally. It's not gonna be like, oh, because the built environment is contributing the most to greenhouse gases. It's gonna the effect is gonna only impact construction. No, it's gonna impact the whole world. So it's all about selflessness. I know, in terms of like incorporating it as well, it might be hard. It'll need a bit more. It'll need new teams, potentially, maybe potentially new technology, and the companies might be reluctant to invest into that. But if we go selfless and think about the whole world as it is, and then put in those things we need to put in place to reduce help with climate change, then things will get better. And things with what the government's implemented, things are getting better. The United Nations sustainability goals. We've reached some of them. Some of them we haven't reached. Some of them that are meant to be reached by 2030, they don't look like they're about to be reached at all. There's a lot of different factors into climate change, but it's all about people being selfless and essentially working towards it. Yeah.
Do you see a big part of it is obviously concrete?
Yeah.
Everybody knows, about that. Is it something, would you say you're still seeing the same amount of concrete being poured for footings and slabs and everything else? Or is your company starting to talk about other methods of construction? Because there's loads out there. Although, are we actually seeing much of it here? Is it something you've seen, or is it predominantly old school ways of building?
I guess what I see more day to day right now are more fit out in offices. So stripping down the walls, putting up the partitioning. But in terms of the use of concrete, a lot of our buildings are built on concrete, especially in central London. A lot of it are built on concrete. I haven't seen much bricks. I mean, I see bricks as internal features sometimes, but what bricks I haven't seen. But I can't really comment on how much concrete is used, because to be honest, I don't know much about that.
Yeah. Interesting using bricks as a feature internally. Brick slips is obviously, years gone by, we were doing brick slips in people's houses, but we were cutting the frogs off either side of a brick, with a skills petrol cutter. And it's interesting now being used as features. I love the old London brick, the stocks. I think it's got so much character, but we need to move into new methods of construction. And there's obviously ways of creating that look without actually using bricks and sand and cement and concrete. But another conversation for another day. I briefly said to you before we started recording, you're in charge. You run construction. You've only been in it a short time, but you've got fascinating views and already a lot of knowledge. So a couple of questions. Is there anything around legislation or laws you would like to see change? And what I mean by that is easier working conditions, or people being stricter on site to stop accidents or people's mental health. Is there anything you would see, or is it a little bit early to tell? If you would say, right, time for change.
In terms of legislation, I think keeping on the topic of preventative measures, I'll come back to mental health, because obviously Grenfell happened. We know there was issues with the building, and therefore they've created the Building Safety Act. That was a reaction, not preventative. So in terms of the mental health, I think there has to be, at this point, that maybe there even has to be a law on it, like some legislation that says you need to do this, and this for the people that work for you. Because if people in a workforce are not mentally stable, then what's the point of having a workforce where people can't come, to work, happy, joyful? But then there's so many reasons that contribute to mental health. But there's something has to be done. Something has to be done. Everyone's different. Everyone has different things going on. But maybe the company, I don't know, if I was in charge, give people 2 hours break, maybe to reconnect, and let people talk more, make sure you do this many hours of activities with your contractors a day. I can't, to be honest, I'm just learning more about it myself, so I can't really give you the best solution right now. But
those 2 points are brilliant.
something has to be done, but I just don't know what.
No, those 2 points. I think making some form of legislation to it. The government will take years to do that. Mark said that in one of the talks.
Yeah.
But changing policy, so bringing it into prelims or the annex of the contract. But as you say, on site, just having a bit more time chatting. If you want to go and kick a ball around or just sit there and just chill out for a bit. But yeah, I mean, I think we've all got our ideas. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So you're fresh into the industry. Faith, how do we attract more people into the industry like yourself?
Just provide more opportunities, whether it be networking events, whether it be insight events, internships. Just there, as I said, there's people out there that want to come to this industry. They just need the doors to be open. So companies just open up their doors, educate these young minds, captivate their minds. Because when you ask young people about some things, you'll be so surprised with what they come out with just with a little bit of experience. So companies just open their doors to these young people, let them come and show you what they're made of, and be shocked.
A little bit more support at schools, or do you think it's down to the companies?
Schools as well. Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, definitely schools. They need to, get out of the one way traffic mind. There's so many ways to do things in life. So let the schools also give the students a bit more freedom about what they want to do with their lives. Yeah.
Career days. Do you have many construction companies or construction industry representatives come in and do talks, or would you like to see more of that if you're sitting there thinking, right, we've got a careers day? It'd be great to hear from, one of the tier ones or a self-employed tradesperson.
Yeah, that's good, because when I was in school, we didn't have any of like apprentices then come to talk to us at all. So if you did want to do an apprenticeship, it was up to you to then go out and sort that for yourself. And you've made a really good point. People, maybe there needs to be some, when the school does, the career fairs, because schools do that, they should bring in apprentices to talk about, their experience, their journeys. Because if a young person is talking to another young person, they'll become instantly motivated. Like people see me, I think, oh, I want to do what Faith is doing, and I love that. It should be done more. Yeah.
I think, as you say, some will get like me going in talking to them and may not resonate anywhere near as you, because you've been in, fairly short period of time, but you've seen a lot. You've got some very quick experience. They can ask you a question that you can then answer, and they're going to go, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe bringing into your apprenticeship, you going back to the school for the odd day to do a talk in the careers fair.
Yeah.
Faith, I think that's a brilliant idea. I'm all over that.
I think I do that.
Right, finally, I appreciate, obviously, tradespeople working on site and office environment are different, but do you think to attract more people, we should pay apprentices slightly more? Because it isn't great. I appreciate everyone's got to start at the bottom and work up, but would it attract more if we sort of upped it a little bit?
I don't think it would necessarily, because they're going there. I know the money's a perk, but they're going there. First of all, the university fees are paid, so that's already something. And they're going there to just learn about the industry, to build their knowledge on what the industry is about. I don't think increasing the salary would do much. I would say everyone should be at least above maybe 20, 22. Everyone should be a bit above that. It'd make them feel a bit, oh, okay, I'm working a job. But I don't think it would change the level of attraction if they increased it. People are still, for example, Rolls-Royce on their website, they pay their apprentices 18k, and people still apply to it. And it's a big name, people still apply to it. So I don't think money would change much, to be honest with you.
I think, as you say, you've got direction from parents or friends or schoolmates. This is what you want to do. You're going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's a really interesting point. Finally, we're sitting here looking out on the horizon over London. I was going to say 3. Let's go with 2. 2 predictions for the UK construction industry in the next 5 to 10 years, because I reckon you're going to be quite close from what we said so far.
I want to say our suicide rate should be down. Fingers crossed. And another one, it has to do with sustainability and climate change. It's scary. They have to do something about that. So hopefully we, in the construction industry, will contribute less, and we also use technology a bit more. We make use of it. We We don't think, oh, no, we shouldn't be scared of it. We should not be scared of it. Go for it. Use technology to, increase our efficiency, like I said before. And yeah, that's my little views on it.
Well, Faith, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you ever so much. Some brilliant points, and my view is more people like you are needed. It's been quite interesting to hear some of your points at why people are not coming in or coming in and then disappearing. So it's something we're going to take away and work on. I genuinely think you're going to fly. All these opportunities, the only advice I can give is when you get opportunities, just go along, take them. If you've got the support from your employer, go into events, as you say, you went to London Build, go along to talks, go along to networking events. And, quite frankly, we do need more people like you. That's why I wanted to get you into the studio. And it's been eye-opening hearing how you perceive and people of your generation see the industry. Key points to take away. And if we can get these in place, we're just going to get better. Keep raising the flag for construction, because we desperately need more people like you. And thank you ever so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in. And we'll be back the same time next week for another 4-part series of The Opinion Piece.